Hello friends and welcome to Chattofax Games. I am playing Banished for the first time ever. I was recommended this game. I understand that it's a bit of a survival and a city building game and that it's more or less built around managing your specific villagers in their roles. So, since I know nothing about this game, I'm going to play the tutorials. Getting started. Welcome to Banished. In this game you control a group of exiled travelers who decide to restart their lives in a new land. You'll have to help them survive. At any time during this tutorial, you can access the options menu by pressing the door or escape. From the options menu, you can save and load your progress, change settings, exit the game. First, get familiar moving around the landscape. You can move the camera by pressing WASD. You can also, well, I can't move to the right edge of the screen because that's where my other monitor is that I'm recording on. But I can use WASD and I can use 3 edges of the screen to scroll. All right. Q and E, rotate. Or holding the middle mouse button. You can zoom the camera in and out, either insert and delete, which isn't going to be great on my keyboard, or the mouse wheel, so mouse wheel it is. You can also pitch the camera by pressing page up or page down. Okay. Not a lot going on there. Yeah, not a lot of pitch, so not really important. All the keyboard keys are configurable and can be modified in the options menu. Now that you're familiar with the movement controls, it's time to start playing. The people you control need 3 things to survive: shelter, food, and a way to keep warm in winter. You might notice that some people have this icon floating over their heads. Yep, like all of them. This means that the townsfolk don't have a place to live. You can provide the townsfolk with places to live by building homes for them. First, select the housing menu on the toolbar. Now select a wooden house on the toolbar. So housing, wooden house. Using the mouse, move the house over the highlighted area and press the left mouse button. Placing a building will leave a footprint where it will be built. Get the townsfolk townsfolk to start construction, you'll have to collect wood for the structure and stone for the foundation. You can cut down trees and remove rocks from the landscape by using destruction tools. Select remove resource. All right. The townsfolk will head to that area and start removing rocks and trees. While they are busy, you can place a stockpile where the citizens will store logs, stone, iron, and firewood. Select the storage tools. Next, press the stockpile by pressing the button. Using the mouse, click and drag the mouse over, to create a stockpile. The townsfolk will move the harvested rocks and trees to the stockpile. Once there are materials in the stockpile, the people will move logs and stone to construction locations. Well, any town person can cut down a tree or move materials from one place to another. Some jobs require specialized workers. In the case of construction, you'll need to assign builders. So what is this setting? Tools and reports. Professions. Alright, try to assign 2 builders by pressing the up arrow next to the profession or by typing in the edit box. Okay. So I've got a labor pool and I've just removed 2 laborers and made them builders. Okay. The builders can now begin construction on the house. Just one house isn't enough, though. You'll need 3 more houses to give the other families a place to live. Once again, click on the housing tool. Using the mouse, move the house to the highlighted area. You can rotate the houses with T. Yep. R. Alright. Sometimes it takes a while for people to do all the jobs you have assigned. If you're in a hurry, you can change the speed the game runs at. Start by pressing that. Alright. Once all the houses are built, the tutorial will continue. So, I can see my stockpile here. Not sure what this is. Okay, I can see that these are marked to be cleared. Okay. They're clearing quite a lot of wood right away. I mean, I guess I marked that whole area. A lot of deforestation going on. And now it's raining. So I see the housing indicators disappearing as they build these. I'm not sure what this snowflake icon is. I guess that hopefully the tutorial will tell me. Great, you've built houses for all the townsfolk. That may have seemed like a lot of work for a few houses, but now you know how to build anything. To build any structure, place a building footprint. The citizens will clear the area, then collect enough resources to build the structure. As long as there are citizens assigned as builders, they'll take care of the rest. The people are going to need food, otherwise they'll starve. They can acquire food in a variety of ways. They can hunt, gather, fish, plant crops, grow orchards, or raise livestock. If the people are close to starving to death, the hunger icon will appear above their heads. Looks like I've still got 3 homeless people. Since this town is near a river, the easiest way to generate food is to build a fishing dock. Click the food icon. Now select the fishing dock. Do those arrows automatically indicate like a road or access is there? Like it's leaving a row empty to access the building? Most buildings that produce food or other resources require workers. You can assign fishermen the same way you assign builders. Yep. For fishermen, you may notice this icon above some of the citizens' heads. This means the workers you assign don't have a place to work. As soon as the fishing dock is complete, they'll start working there and the icon will disappear. Okay. While waiting for the fishing dock, wait while the fishing dock is built. You can use time tools. Yep. Alright, if you build roads, people will move slightly faster as they move place to place. Place roads by selecting the Roads and Bridges tool. Now select Dirt Road. Alright. The same builders that construct buildings will prepare the road for use. After they perform the construction, the townsfolk will move faster while traveling on roads. As the town grows, workers produce food and other resources from many locations. It's useful to see an overview of what the town has available. overview button. In the overview, you can see the amount of stored construction materials, food, firewood, clothing, and tools. You can also see the current population, average health, and the happiness, as well as the current weather. Alright, so stored logs, stored stone, no iron, firewood, none, stored coal, stored tools, yep. Alright. When food and other consumable goods are produced, they need to be stored somewhere. Until now, the people have been placing everything in the cart that they arrived with. You can place a storage barn that can hold more. Start by selecting storage tools. Storage barn. If you look in the overview tool, you can see there aren't enough logs left to build the storage barn. You'll have to cut down more trees for construction to continue. Select remove resources and select harvest trees. Okay. The people need a way to stay warm in winter. The easiest way to do that is to cut logs into firewood. To do this, you'll need to place a wood cutter. Woodcutter. Alright, if the townsfolk are in danger of freezing to death, this icon will appear above their heads. If they are overly cold, the people will return home or go to the closest warm building they can find. This icon will appear over homes that don't have any firewood available for heating. Alright. Now wait while the storage barn and woodcutter are built. You can use the time tools to change the game speed. Yep. Got 5 stored food and then it disappears pretty quickly. Barn is being built. I initially, recording, tried to hop right into the game and couldn't understand what was going on, so I stopped that recording, came out to play these tutorials because clearly this is a little bit different than other city builders, or at least different than to the ones I've been playing, so I need a bit of a guide on how to begin. What was this one? This is the woodcutter, right? You can always assign workers by using the profession tools, but you can change the number of workers when examining the details of a structure. Okay. Assign one woodcutter by pressing the up button. A worker will now start producing firewood. He or she will move logs from stockpiles to the building and cut them into firewood. The rest of the townsfolk will use firewood to heat their homes. Now that the storage barn is built, the cart that the people arrived with is no longer needed. You can remove it or end anything else you built using the destruction tools. The workers will remove inventory from the cart and then move it into the storage barn. You can use the time tools again. Once the cart has been removed, the tutorial will continue. There we go. With some maintenance and a little luck, a small town like this will survive many years. The children will grow up, become workers, and have children of their own. New houses can be built, and the town can continue to expand. At any point, if at any point you need help with something in the game or a description, of how a building or tool works, you can refer to the in-game help. Start by pressing that. Banished. Okay, so we've got a whole manual here. Okay. Quit. Alright, so that's the first tutorial. I noticed there were others. Getting started, survival, food production, and trade. Okay, as a town grows, additional specialized buildings can help make survival easier. In this tutorial, you'll build work areas for blacksmith, tailors, herbalists, and foresters. First, place a blacksmith. While waiting for structures to be constructed, you can place more buildings. Yeah, so it's just saying. Next, place a tailor. Now place an herbalist. Finally, place a forester's lodge. Alright, it's going to have me assign workers. One blacksmith. One tailor. One herbalist, and one forester. Or more than one forester. That's saying speed up time. All workers need tools to efficiently do their jobs. If a citizen doesn't have a tool, the following icon will appear above their head. Tools eventually wear out and need to be replaced, but the blacksmith can make new tools. Alright, click the blacksmith to view the details. Blacksmith will use logs and iron to make new tools. Here you can see the inventory of what the blacksmith has in storage for making tools. Alright. If you run out of materials, the blacksmith won't be able to work. You can also control how many tools to make and put in storage by setting a limit. If the building isn't producing goods because the limit has been hit, the limit icon will appear over the building. You can enable and disable work at a location by toggling the work button. You can also change the product that the blacksmith makes. Using logs, iron, and coal, the blacksmith can produce steel tools that last longer than iron tools. Click the tailor building to see its details. During the winter months, townsfolk stay warm by occasionally returning to their heated homes. With a tailor, you can help the workers ward off the cold and stay outside longer by crafting better clothing. Okay. The tailor can use leather or wool to make clothes, or a combination of both to make the best clothing. If you run out of the needed materials, the following icon will appear above the building. Click the herbalist. An herbalist collects herbs from the surrounding forest and will help the townsfolk stay healthy. The yellow circle on the ground around the building shows the area that the herbalist searches for herbs. Citizens need a variety of foods to stay healthy, such as meat, vegetables, fruit, and grains. If the townfolks are not healthy, they are more prone to disease. Herbs collected by herbalists can be used to help keep the townsfolk healthy if their diet is poor. Herbs usually only grow near old trees. This is something to keep in mind when you place an herbalist's building. Click on the Forester's Lodge. Rather than constantly clearing areas of trees to produce firewood, workers at a Forester's Lodge will manage the forest for you. Workers will plant new trees and cut down old trees in an area around the building. The yellow circle on the ground around the Forester Lodge shows the area that the foresters will work in. You can enable and disable the cutting of trees. When cutting is disabled, no trees will be cut down. You can enable and disable the planting of trees. When planting is disabled, no new saplings will be planted around the building. Foresters also remove rock and ore that is in their work area to make room for more trees to be planted. Okay. By using these buildings, you can help make sure the citizens have tools, warm clothes for the winter, good health, and replenishable forests. Press next to play the next tutorial. It focuses on food production, plus press quit to return to the main menu. Alright, I think I'm getting it. It's a lot to take in. There are many ways to produce food for the citizens of your town. Hunting, fishing, and gathering can be used to harvest food from the environment, or you can clear the land and plant orchards, grow crops, or raise livestock. Before food can be produced, you'll need to construct buildings and create areas for food production. You can start by placing a pasture for livestock. Select food production. Select pasture. Alright. While the pasture is being built, you can place other buildings. A hunting cabin can be used to designate an area where hunters should search for wild game. Hunters need either open fields or forests nearby to effectively hunt. Select a hunting cabin. Similar to hunters, gatherers search for and collect food that is growing in the forest. Select the gatherers. Farmers can work in a field and grow crops. Alright. Farmers can also work in an orchard. The crop field is currently disabled as indicated by the following icon. Select the crop field by clicking it. To enable the growth of crops, first you'll have to select a type of seed plant. You can acquire more seed types by trading with merchants at a trading post. Select one of the crop types using the seed button and then selecting a seed. Corn, I guess it is. You can also assign farmers. In the spring, workers will plant seeds in the field, and in the autumn they'll harvest the crops. You can direct them to harvest early by selecting harvest. After planting, the yield meter will show how mature the growing plants are and can be used as a gauge to determine how much food will be produced. You can disable or enable work at the crop field by toggling the work button. Like the crop field, an orchard will be disabled until you pick a type of tree to plant. I guess apple. Need to assign more farmers to work in the orchard. Increase the total number of farmers to 6. Farmers will plant trees and they will grow over time. It may take several years for the trees to produce fruit. Normally, farmers will harvest fruit in the autumn, but you can direct them to harvest the fruit early by pressing the harvest button. You can cut down all the trees in the orchard for wood, or when you want to produce a different type of fruit. You can disable or enable work in the orchard by toggling the work button. After planting, the yield meter will show how mature the growing fruit is. Remember that trees need several years of growth before they produce fruit. Alright, select the pasture. To enable the use of the pasture, first you'll have to select a type of animal to put in the pasture. You can acquire more animals by trading with merchants at a trading post. Select sheep. You'll need to assign herdsmen. If you want to move all the animals from this pasture into another pasture, you can press the empty button. To do this, you'll have to create another pasture that can hold all the animals. If you want to split the herd in order to increase the number of animals, you can press the split button. To do this, you'll have to have space in other pastures that can hold the animals. You can disable or enable the work at the pasture by toggling the work button. If the pasture isn't being worked, the animals will continue to grow, but they won't produce as quickly. Alright. If there are too many animals in the pasture, the herdsman will slaughter them for meat. You can control how many animals are kept in the pasture by changing the value of this slider. This allows you to quickly gain meat for food if the supply runs low. Click the hunting cabin. Hunters will search around the hunting cabin in search of wild game. In addition to providing meat, hunting deer can provide leather, which can be used by tailors to make clothes. You can disable or enable work at the hunting cabin by toggling the work button. At any food producing location, you control the maximum amount of food to produce. Once the amount of food in storage reaches the limit, the workers will cease working. Click on the gatherers. What? Gatherers will search the area around the building in search of food that grows in the forest. As long as there is a forest nearby, gatherers can be a good choice as the type of food production to use in town, as it provides a variety of foods quickly. Click on the fishing hut to view its details. Each building that produces good tracks how many resources are produced each year. Click on the production button to view resources produced. The current season displays shows how many resources have been produced so far during the current year. Produces logs, huh? I guess like floating down the river maybe? The previous season displayed shows how many resources were produced the previous season for comparison. Alright. As the population grows, you'll need to expand food production to keep the citizens from starving. Producing a variety of food types will help keep the citizens happy and healthy. Click next to play the next tutorial. It focuses on trade with merchants. A trading post can be used to acquire new crop seeds, fruit seeds, livestock, food, and many other items. Once a trading post has been built, different types of merchants will periodically arrive with goods to sell. A trading post has already been built for you. Click on the trading post building to view its details. A trading post needs to be built on a river or on a lake that connects the large river running through the town. If it isn't, merchants won't be able to get their boats to the trading post. Before you can make a trade with a merchant, you need to stock the trading post with the goods you wish to sell. Any resource that has been produced by the town can be traded. Since this town has more tools and coats than it currently needs, you can stock the trading post with these. Set the desired number of hide coats to 100. Set the number of iron tools to 120. The trading post needs workers. Assign 4. While the workers are moving inventory to fill the trading post, you can speed up the game. The trading post is a pretty big building, huh? Alright, now that you have some inventory to trade, click on the Trade tab to interact with the merchant. This particular merchant is selling chickens. Once you buy livestock, you can move it into a pasture where the animals will reproduce and provide the town with food. Increase the number of chickens to buy to 6. Increase the number of iron tools and hide coats to trade until the total is enough to match the total cost of the chickens. So 2,400 is, yep, so am I gonna need to do all of them? Probably. So I didn't need to quite do all of them. You are overpaying by 60 units. I guess it's not gonna let me adjust that for the tutorial. You can now see the chickens you bought in the fenced area attached to the trading post. If you have a pasture set up for chickens, they'll move into it. Since you've made a trade, the workers will start refilling the trading post inventory. If you buy a certain item from a merchant without it, if you always want to buy a certain item from a merchant without interacting with the trading post, you can set up an automatic purchase. The purchase mode determines if and when the traders will make a trade for you. You can set the maximum number of items to purchase in several categories. The traders will buy items up to this amount as long as the trading post has enough inventory to cover the cost. If you've set more than one item to be automatically purchased, you can change the priority of which items to buy first by moving the categories up or down. Categories at the top of the list will be purchased first. Normally, when a merchant comes to trade, they'll have a random assortment of goods. Rather than relying on chance to acquire the items you want, you can place custom orders with the merchants. The order mode determines if an order is being placed or if it is a recurring order. Gotcha. The available items a merchant can bring will be displayed. To place an order, click on and highlight the items you want the merchant to bring during their next visit. Merchants have limited space in their boats, so if you order too many items at once, they may not bring them all. Items bought from a custom order will cost more than normal. Trade can be a great way to acquire items that the town is lacking or can't yet produce. This concludes the trade tutorial. Alright, so it's intriguing so far. So that's all the tutorials, right? Yep. Alright, I guess I'm getting ready to hop into this game for a bit. Let's begin a new game. Pembervilliot. Random map seed, I guess. Valleys, small, fair. Disasters on. Starting conditions medium. A medium game begins with 5 families. Clothing, food, firewood, tools, and construction materials are provided. A storage barn has already been built. Some seeds for fields and orchards are available. Okay. Alright, so, I guess the first thing is houses. So 5 families, I need 5 houses. All right. Guess I want to start collecting stone. I'm going to need to assign some builders, I suppose. Alright, so, food-wise, got 1,800. I guess I could go ahead and put in, a fishing dock. Trying to remember my lessons here. Crop field, orchard, now fishing dock. I guess should I just cut down some trees? How am I doing on stored logs? Could be better. Where was the road? Got hunting. Like, I mean, clearly there's deer here to hunt. But do I want to set up my hunting so close to... Yeah, to everything else that's going on? Right, so all of my family members have homes now. Citizen. So they do have names. Tylese. Child. Alright. What's this? Okay, so I need firewood. Where was my firewood option? Well. Schoolhouse. Yeah, I kind of want this near the storage barn. Alright, my fishing dock. So, just to take a look here. Not there. Fishermen. I'm going to drop my number of builders. Alright, so this should be collecting fish. Do I want to try setting up a field? Yeah, what if I set up a field back here? This is going to take a bit of getting used to. Peppers, I guess. And I need at least one person. So we've got one person working the field here. So I could set up a second field. Oh, interesting. What's going on here? So I should have one here and one here. So, what's the question mark? Oh, am I out of, workers? Oh, I should have 2 total farmers. All right. Overview. I mean, my food has dropped considerably since I started. So I almost wonder if I don't need more fishermen. Yeah, fuel. I do need fuel. Which means I'm gonna want to get, so they turn logs into firewood, right? Yep. So I have my peppers, I have my cabbage. They are growing. I guess I could get an orchard going as well, so I'm going to do my destruction tools and collect this stone to clear the way. Is that not stone? I bet it's iron. Okay, I don't have that warning about firewood anymore, so that's good. So it's interesting, like there's things I want to do, but clearly I'm not going to have enough people to do everything I want to in the beginning, because I'm only starting with 10 total employees. I only have one laborer right now. I guess they can come over and do it if they're not busy at their assigned job. Maybe. Yep. It's late spring. Should I try to put an orchard in? But that would require another farmer. I think I'm gonna put a hunting hut over here. And for that, I will need more logs. So I'm gonna cut down these trees over here. Yep, I think they're out of wood to be able to turn into fuel. So I am going to unassign that villager for now. But I think I'll get a warning if I'm running low on firewood. I am growing my amount of stored food, so that's good. So, if I understand it, I'm only getting new villagers when... I'm only getting new villagers when my children grow up, so I'm starting with just 10. If I understand correctly. I need to collect wood for that, so hopefully I'm going to be cutting down some trees over here. So I have 30 tools, so I'm not concerned about running out of tools just yet. Should I draw a road back there? Or will that ruin the forest that they'll be hunting in? So I can see the what they're carrying over here, and I guess once it's carried over, they can start building. and I'll be able to track that. Yeah, I'm gonna go down to half the fishermen. Fish, potato, hide coat. So there is a lot to discover here, it looks like, in this game. Should I try to get an orchard growing? Yeah, I did clear this area specifically for it, so I'm going to try to get an orchard growing. I know it'll be a few years according to the game. So far this doesn't appear to be too much of a challenge in this game. Okay, so I want this to be walnut. So a walnut orchard. Can't complain about that. And I guess I could probably move these fields later. So overall health, I could, I guess, do an herbalist. This isn't like Manor Lords, is it? Where I need to build a house in order for another family to move in. Well, let's check the help menu. I'm not sure why the music just cut out. I don't know if you can all hear the game, but my headset. Oh, there it is. My headset just cut out for a bit. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to go into my help menu again. So I want to see if there's anything about how we grow. Okay. So I need a town hall, a trading post, and a market for a group of nomads. Otherwise, I think they just grow up. So I just need to wait for them to grow up otherwise. All right, let's look at my total. I have a few people. Nope. I'm going to try to get some more wood in. Maybe I should set up a forester. Yep. Where would I want my forester? Kind of in this area. We are getting some trees cut down over here. Do I want a town hall? So I think the issue is we just keep running out of wood to actually turn into firewood. Okay. Yeah, so orchard might take a bit to grow up. This is it's nearly ready to harvest. Probably need to do a bigger plot for orchards, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, looking at how many trees actually fit in a plot. Well, we'll see how it goes. How much stone do I have? $50, 11 logs, 56 firewood, 26 tools. Okay, so this is finally starting to come along. It has all its resources, they just need to actually build it. Ooh, my food is low. Do I need to put more people back on fish? Or are they near harvesting this? I'll see how much food I get out of here. I was hoping to have a hunting camp in pretty soon. Got 60 fish. It's interesting that you can see the units of work they've put into it. All right. Yep, that hopefully we'll start bringing in more people or more food. Are we harvesting this? Yes. All right, so how does that do for my food? That's bringing in a decent amount of food. 168 peppers. I can get behind that. I have 12 adults now. Okay, so I have had some grow up, I guess. Let me check. Yeah, so I've got 3 laborers. I'm gonna put another person on fish. So I did kind of get close on... I did kind of get close on my food production. Okay, it's saying I'm low on firewood again. I've got someone working at it. Just need to make sure we have logs coming in, yep. Okay, do I have anyone with any indicators, sick or disease or anything like that? Alright. I think over here is where I want to put in a forester. Forester Lodge. Yeah, so kind of in this area. Let me flip that around. And I can build a road in. I might want to think about... I may want to think about... upgrading to... I may want to think about upgrading to stone roads is what I was saying. So, bringing in pepper and cabbage. I should be bringing in meat soonish. I would hope. So 0% yield on that orchard, but my peppers and my cabbages seem to be doing pretty good. They brought me in a decent amount of food, but they only bring it in once per season. So that's interesting. I'll need to stay on top of cabbage and pepper production. Am I getting any meat in? Venison, 100. There we go. Perfect. So I have a variety of foods now. So this is the next thing I want done, which is removing 2 trees, carrying all the logs and stones over here. I have all these trees marked to be cut down. Just a question of how many laborers I have to do it. It's funny, you can see the kids just kind of hanging out, but they don't seem to be doing much. So this is a nice little village. Growth is going to be a bit slow at the beginning, seems like, huh? Am I at the maximum amount of firewood? I mean, close, or maybe I just don't have logs. Because are they carrying logs over here? Not quite. Thinking about putting in what is it? A gatherer's hut? For roots and berries. Oh, is the season changing? Season is changing. It is now winter. Will they still be able to fish in the winter? I hope so. Actually, I actually don't know if I want to cut this tree down, but I'll go for it, because it's kind of a cool looking tree over there. There's mushrooms here. I wonder if that's what gatherers can pick up. Oh, my builders are putting in the road over here. Yep. So they produce 6 leather and 200 venison in the current season. How about my fish? $392 pepper, 305 cabbage. That's a decent amount, I would think. I don't know how much gets used per season or per day or whatever is going on. But I'm producing more food than I'm using for sure. It is interesting how the season changed. Do I want a trading post? It's a big production. Ooh. Yeah, so it'll be something like that. What do I have in the way of animals? Like if I put in a pasture, what would happen? Would I have any animals to go in it, or would I just have to wait? Still waiting for that work there to begin. Season did change really quickly. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it a day there. So that is the tutorials and the beginning of Banished. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Have a great day.